Pioneer Sports Extra tales of great Boswell's never rock and roll. Pioneer Sports
just now
Extra tales of great
Perfect.
Boswell's never gonna quit.
You notice?
Coach Weaver's more records in our soul. Chasing
Have you
glory,
watched any of these? You know how the questions go?
Sports Extra tales of great
You got 10 seconds.
Coach Weaver's more echoes in our soul. Chasing glory, now we're rock and roll.
Good evening and welcome to Pioneer Sports Extra, the Boswell Pioneers Coaches Show. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Howard, and joining me tonight, of course, is the head coach of the Boswell Pioneers, Wes Weaver. Hello, Coach.
Hello, how are you
That's
doing?
a good-looking guy to my left. And then our special guest tonight is another good-looking guy, the road grader out there, number 64. That's Braden Meeson is with us. Hello, Braden.
Hey, how's it going? Thank
And
you.
you want to pull your mic up just a little bit closer?
Is that good?
There you
Yep.
go. Perfect. Yeah. All right. So got a lot to talk about, man. Exciting week here at Boswellsports, and of course, Boswell High School is the Boswell Pioneers got a big win over to the Crowley Eagles last Friday night, and it's smiles all around. That was a really good football game. We're going to talk about that, and then after that, of course, we will dive into this week's short week as the Pioneers travel back to Mansfield R.L. Anderson Stadium to face the Legacy Broncos. And then after that, we will go one-on-one with Braden Meeson, see what he has to say about all this. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have all that and more here on Pioneer Sports Extra.
Off of 73335 down on Boat Club Road, there's a place folks gather and let their troubles unload. Red's Barbecue delights under a Texas sky, with brisket, sausage ribs, and chicken fried. Juicy burger stacking high, Red's fries on my plate. Flavor so rich my mouth can't wait. Hey, the man, he's got the magic touch. A bite of heaven, it's never too much. Oh, Red's Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite. Fried steak, crispy and brown, the tastiest food in our little town. The sauce is poured with love, smoking so fine. Every meal there is a grand old time, with friends and tunes under the barbecue lights, laughing and eating through the warm summer nights. Grill marks are painted, a culinary art. Red's Barbecue knows the way to my heart. Oh, Red's Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite. Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite.
All right, welcome back to Pioneer Sports Extra. Of course, we are live here at Red's Barbecue with Justin and Amy and serving up barbecue, and they're not out of anything, so got plenty of time to come and get you some barbecue and join us here for the coaches show. Coach, big win. I tell you, what a game. What a game. Amy, in fact, told Peyton to breathe because it was such an exciting game there at the end. It was the overtime win for the Boswell Pioneers. You were 28-point underdog going into this one. What was the mindset of the team heading into that matchup against Crowley?
Well, we had talked all week about just focusing on the job in front of you, and so um, we knew that we were sitting at 0-1. We'd had a disappointing loss versus Mansfield, and this was the most important game of our season. And so I kind of preached that. Coaches preached that all week was, focus on what you can control, and the only thing you can control is what's right in front of us. And we can't go back and fix what we did in the Mansfield game from the standpoint of doing it over, but we can fix it for this game and we can fix it for the games following. But we've got to take care of business this week. And that's the same message we've been giving them over Legacy, is that none of these points or emotions carry over to Thursday night, and we've got to take care of business on Thursday. Now the Legacy game is the most important game in our season, and we got to take care of business then. And one of the I've quit looking at the projections. I did it every week last year, and it doesn't do anything for you as a coach. And so I didn't know that we were 28-point underdogs. And so I didn't coach all week, and our coaches didn't coach all week like we were underdogs. We coached like we were going into a dogfight, and that's what it was.
Well, it did come down to overtime and a 1-point difference. Can you walk us through those final moments and what was going through your mind at that last defensive stand?
Well, the last one in regulation, I was just like, obviously they've got to get in field goal range, and they were right on the edge of field goal range, and so they kept throwing it, and I felt pretty good about us going into overtime. Our kids, we worked that. We've practiced overtime periods. We've practiced, uh, 2-point plays and everything that might be included in an overtime period. And when we do that, we're preparing for moments like this. And so we did a great job there at the end of the game. And then I think it was the most efficient overtime in probably overtime history. We scored on the first play. They scored on the first play, and that was all she wrote. It wasn't very prolonged. And so, but our defense has played really, really well all season. And so I was confident. We went out for the coin toss, and kind of the strategy there is, if you win the coin toss, you want to be on defense first. That way, exactly what you have to do on offense going into your possession. And so Coach Freeman dialed up the perfect play on the first call, and then their quarterback's real slippery and maneuvered through our defense and got in there, and then they came out in a set that that we knew we had seen before, but still, I ran down there and called the timeout just so that we could try to settle our guys. And we talked to them about just, again, doing their job. If you're supposed to be in this gap, be in that gap, focus on your keys, and go execute the defensive call from Coach Davis. And we did.
So, Coach, how did the team respond emotionally and mentally after pulling off a win like that against the team that a lot of people thought going in was going to be the second place finisher in the district?
The kids were obviously excited. If you watch the end of the game, especially on y'all's broadcast, you can see how excited they were, how pumped up they were. There's guys hugging me, guys hugging each other, and I had to kind of try to reel them in so that we could go shake their hand, and it was an awesome feeling. But like it makes you feel good that the team's that close where when you battle and battle and battle for 48 minutes and you see uh the fruits of your labor, that they just they appreciate each other. They appreciate being around each other, and they all sat there and went to hug each other.
That had to be a huge confidence booster for this team.
Yeah, I think so. You know, uh, I've been fairly confident in our abilities and expectations all season, and they've been the team's been in lockstep there with me and the coaches, and the uh, the kids have bought in every step of the way, and so we've there's never been a game that we've gone into where uh, the mentality was, like let's keep it close. Like we show up to win, we show up to compete, we show up to play, and that's what I stress to the kids every week, and their position coaches stress to them every week.
Jace Richardson had another standout night, 144 yards on the ground and a touchdown. What makes him so consistent and explosive in these type of games?
Uh, his for being a shorter guy, stature wise, he is very, very strong. I mean, you guys saw him when he came in to do the show. He's very well put together, and so he uh he is able to take hits, but he also, when he runs the ball, is really good at not taking direct hits. Obviously he got knocked out of the game on one of the more
Yeah.
vicious hits that we've seen, but uh, in open field and in traffic, he doesn't really take big shots because his vision is so good and his acceleration and burst is so good. He gets through a gap and gets by a guy a lot of times. And so, if you can do that, you're already 4.5, 5 yards downfield every single play that we hand it to you. And Jace does it. Jace excels at that.
How did that vicious hit in the fourth quarter change the dynamics of the game? What adjustments did you have to make?
We I told you a few weeks ago, like we're big on personnel groupings. And so like we may start in one personnel group and we may stay in that for a while, and then we get another personnel group, and it may change week to week what we start out in. So like being a starter uh kind of comes with what the plan is. And so, you know, it kind of took away that personnel group that Jace was in, but we were able to insert uh, Anthony Hummer, and we inserted um, Armani Jones a little bit, and they were able to do that. And so there's people that were able to pick up the slack for Jace not being in there, but it the hit did. I think it kind of galvanized our guys. They saw it, and it was a vicious hit, and Jace was fine. I got over there and checked on him, and I thought the way that his helmet flew off, I thought, man, he's definitely knocked out or something. He's concussed.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. I got over there, and he was awake and he was alert and he was talking to everybody, and he was like, I bit my tongue, and
Oh,
and so but he caught his breath and got his wind back to him, and then he got helped off the field. But I got over there, and Juju and Peyton weren't pleased, and Chance wasn't pleased, and so it kind of galvanized and brought the offense together. And I think after that we scored. That's what we scored our two touchdowns after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So another kid I thought had not big numbers, but an amazing play. Jaden Barboza
Oh man.
had an incredible one-handed catch along the sideline, and that really seemed to energize the team. Talk about the impact of that play.
Oh, absolutely. That was a phenomenal catch. And um, there's going to be times in the game where everybody on offense has a chance to make a play, and you've got to step up and you got to rise to the occasion. You got to go do it. And that's exactly what Jaden did. That was a huge catch and a huge moment. That was a third down catch. Uh, and it extended the drive. And then, a couple plays later, we hit Kersey over the middle. He made that was a pretty
Yeah,
tough, that was a good catch too.
good catch, yeah.
And then he got 6 or 7 more yards. But yeah, Jaden's catch definitely kind of kick-started us on that drive, uh, going forward.
Chance Lassiter, he's really stepped up as a receiver. We kind of we felt like Richardson was he was your pound guy. He was get through the hole quick, pick up the big yards, and then Lassiter has really proved uh, his ability by getting out in space.
Hmm.
And you guys throwing the football to him, I think, really kind of put the Crowley defense back on their heels a little bit. He had 7 catches for 85 yards, 2 scores. How has his development helped open up that offense?
Well, he's finally healthy, uh, and he's doing good. He's obviously he's a very good football player, and um, he's a big body. We put him out at receiver. We put him in the backfield with Jace a lot. And he's make no mistake, he's a running back.
Yeah.
He's we're not gonna split him out there and everything, but any way that we can get Chance the ball in space, uh, throwing it to him, handing it to him, kicking it to him, we're gonna do.
Juju had an outstanding game as well. Back when we came in, Amy said, "I tell you what, Juju was the player of the game for me." And yeah, he threw for 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. How would you evaluate his decision making and leadership during a high pressure game like that one?
Really well. Like he protected the football. He was efficient throwing it. He was 12 out of 16 for that 142 yards, like you said. Um, we asked him to, do a lot of run quarterback reads, and I felt like he did a good job on those and made the right decision. 85% of the time, better. Uh, there's going to be misreads. Very very rarely we have somebody make 100% correct reads when you're. And there might not have been. I think we ran 71 plays, and I would assume on 7 or 60 of them, Juju was reading somebody, you know. And so we moved the ball efficiently. We had, around 350 yards. We scored 4 touchdowns. We didn't turn the ball over, and that's huge. And that goes to him.
Yeah, definitely a balanced attack, as you can see there. 142 yards passing, 203 yards rushing. And a big part of that rushing is the guy next to you. Is We've really been impressed. He was my player of the game as Braden Meeson, because every time we look down there and you guys are running behind him and your tackle Underwood, man, the holes were just huge for those guys to run through. Talk about that offensive line and the job they did against that Crowley defense.
They've been doing a great job, and from Monday on, when we watched film of Crowley and we watched film of what they were going to do, uh, we showed the offensive line, this is how they line up, and those guys do a great job of listening and applying and going out and executing, and they're growing up together. And Meeson's our leader on that group. Him and Kyler Davis uh, are the two seniors, and they set the tone for that entire position group. And so you know they're they're competitive. Braden's a really competitive guy when he gets out there, and he wants to do well, and he wants to be physical. Um, and so yeah, when you've got that, and like you said, Underwood, Hudson, Norwich, uh, those guys, they get after it, and it makes it uh, where you're better on first and second down, and so third downs are shorter, and there's a trickle down effect, and it affects everything that we do offensively.
So let's talk about your defense for a moment. Maui Peters led the way, 9.5 tackles. What kind of tone does he set? We talked to him or talked to you about him before. Not a man of a lot of words,
No, he's
but
not. No, he's not.
but definitely a leader on this defense. Talk about Maui.
Yeah, he's physical, he's coachable, he's in the right spot, and he arrives to the ball very, very quickly, and he's a very good, sure tackler, which is one of the things that stood out to us about him last year when he moved in as a sophomore was yeah, he doesn't say a lot, but man, he gets after it, and he shows emotion out there, and you'll see him pump his fist, but it's kind of a subdued fist pump and everything. But he's he's got his little group of linebackers there, and they're all tight and close knit, and he loves being with those guys. Him and Noah and Valari and Tiago Torres before Tiago moved away. They were all a pretty tight knit group that got along real well, and so he doesn't say much, but he definitely leads by example.
You mentioned Noah Carstens. He added 5.5 tackles and had a half sack, while Major Diego was also made key plays. How important was it for those guys to step up against Crowley? And even though, I mean, they put up 380 yards.
Well, we held them to, I think it was over 50 yards below their season average, and so that's you look at what they were doing to other people and what we held them to. Uh, I thought our defense played outstanding, and those two guys, Noah and Major, were two of the leaders on that. Like when you play a really athletic team, and Crowley's really athletic, you have to be sure tacklers, you have to be sound in your assignment, and you have to be able to make tackles in space. And I thought we did a good job of all those.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing is you shut down their D1 receiver, and
Hmm.
that's 2 weeks in a row that you guys have faced some really quality D1 receivers and have did a really good job against them. Talk about that secondary.
Yeah, it just goes back to doing your job and competing. Football is a physical game, and so from the earliest stages when you play if you play Pee Wee or you wait till you get to middle school in seventh grade and start playing, like on defense, if you're going to be a defensive guy, you've got to like contact and you've got to want to tackle. And I say want to tackle, like everybody's able to tackle, but there's the guys that excel on defense want to tackle. And we've found 11 plus guys that want to tackle, and that plays a huge part in it. And then the rest of it's competing. Like, yeah, you got to learn your job, you got to learn your assignment and everything, and that's the mental aspect of it. But you know, like we try to foster a competitive spirit in all of our guys, where it doesn't matter who's lining up across from you. That I'm gonna go do my best, and so like that guy, he better bring his best because he may be more athletic than me, he may be taller than me, he may be able to lift more weights than me, but he's gonna get every bit of my 165 pounds and 5'7", and so you do that repeatedly throughout the game, and that's a special skill, that's a special talent, because at some point somebody's gonna somebody's gonna blink or somebody's gonna step back and say whoa, and you don't want it to be you.
Right. Were there any turning points or key moments in the game where you felt like the momentum shifted in your favor?
Uh, I think I think when we started the second half with the onside kick, even though we didn't get it, and they went down and they scored in 3 or 4 plays pretty quick. But our kids, like I just talked about, taking a step back or blinking. Our kids didn't blink. They knew that, okay, well, the coaches believe in us. They're willing to take this chance and try to turn the game. And now we got to go perform. We got to go do that. Like if somebody believes in me like that much, like let's go. And I thought from that point on, you know, they didn't score again till overtime, and our offense came back, tied the game, and moved the ball better in the second half. And so I think, just something like that. That was a turning point of, oh, okay, like we're playing, we're playing.
Walk me through the biggest play of the night. That you guys had just scored in overtime. Crowley comes out, one play, they score. They make the decision to go for two, which for me personally, I don't understand, but that's why I'm not coaching. Uh, Walk us through that play.
Uh, yeah, they scored. Uh, they scored on their first play in overtime, and then we knew pretty quickly that we didn't see their kicker running out, and so we were already kind of it was being communicated on the headsets that hey, they're going for two, and so we talked it on the headset. We are like, okay, let's see what they do, see what they come out in, and I looked and I could see some guys. Our body language wasn't the best because we were ticked that we'd given up the score on the first play, and they came out in their formation, which was it was a standard formation for them. It wasn't something that like oh my God, they've never lined up in this. We better call timeout and get adjusted. That wasn't it. I wanted to call a timeout because I wanted to reset our guys, and so I got down there to the official. I called the timeout. We got our guys settled. We looked them all in the eye. We talked to them about this is it. It's going to be you know win or
Yeah, do or
lose
die.
right now. That's do or die.
Yeah.
And so Coach Davis was talking to him, and he was like, I'm betting on us. Like let's go do it. And that's something that we've said to the kids a lot. Like, I'm betting on you guys. And so they lined up. We knew where number one was, and we had a plan for that. And then they handed it to number 20, and we had good penetration from Doug Cook on that side of the line. I think Noah Carson's was over there as well. And they turned him back across the field, and then we had a lot of guys pursuing the ball, which is what you like to see, and we made the stop.
Yeah, I saw at least three guys get penetration before, almost at the time whenever the running back got the football.
Yeah.
So you got to be really pleased with that.
Yes.
And you guys have done a good job of that all season, putting pressure, getting in the backfield. You had to work on the tackling a little bit, but man, there was no doubt on that particular play that he wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
Well, it was a great win, Coach. We hope that you guys can carry that momentum into this week's game as we travel back to Mansfield and face the Mansfield Legacy Broncos. And that's a Thursday night game. And so we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll break down that game. Stay with us here on Pioneer Sports Extra. Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle from the rent raise. Let her show you how to become an owner and not just a landlord. Help with rent collection, maintenance, and inspections. That's All County Property Management.
When you make money, we make money. Low vacancy rates, full web access, low monthly fee, no hidden or extra cost. Connect with us from a wide range of devices, your smartphone, tablet, and computer. So before you rent your next property, call us. Check us out on Facebook, Boswellsports, Twitter, Instagram. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today. All County Property Management, 817-567-2500.
All right, welcome back to Pioneer Sports Extra, Red's Barbecue, the home of the Coaches Show. As they've got, as always, their Tuesday night special is the pulled pork sandwich with slaw and Carolina sauce for $9. Where else are you going to get something like that for $9? Not anywhere I can think of.
Nope.
Great barbecue here. They got hamburgers, chicken fried steak, all kinds of goodies, and lots of room here for you to come down and join us here on the Coaches Show. Coach, we've got another big game, short week for the Boswell Pioneers. Thursday night game as we travel back to Mansfield and face the Broncos. So, what can you tell me, or what stands out to you when you look at this Broncos team on film?
Uh, they've done a good job of putting points on the board for the most part. Their offense is very dynamic. Their defense is pretty big. They're pretty big across the board, offense and defensively. Uh, they run a 4-3. Um, so this will be our third week in a row from seeing a four-man front, and so you have to work on the little intricacies that they throw at you. Um, and offensively, they'll spread it out. They've got another good wide receiver. I don't know that he's got any D1 offers, but number three is an excellent wide receiver. They've got a big, tall, left-handed quarterback that throws the ball real well. Number nine. Uh, they'll put number three in the backfield and run some wildcat stuff with him. And they've had some success throwing it. And so they're going to be a test.
Legacy's coming off a wild 52-49 shootout win over Weatherford. What did you take away from that performance, especially from their offense?
They're able to attack you in a lot of different ways. That's what I took from that game. Like them and Weatherford it was very back and forth. Legacy did a good job of taking what Weatherford was giving them and competing the entire game. Weatherford was winning 49-45 with just a little bit of time left, and Legacy found a way to pull it out and score a touchdown. So they're very similar to us.
They say that sounds like last year for the Pioneers.
It's a team that it's going to be another 4 full quarter game. I feel like.
Well, they've shown that they can score in bunches. 43 against Northwest, 52 last week against their Weatherford. But they've also given up a lot of points in their losses. What are your assessment of their strengths and weaknesses on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, they can score like in bunches is a good way to describe it. But they've also played some pretty salty teams when they've given up a lot of points. Rockwall Heath, North Crowley, and then Northwest they beat by 1 point. They beat them 43-42. And so it's a team that you're gonna have to play assignment-based football. You're gonna have to do your job. You're gonna have to get in the right gap. You're gonna have to read your right keys in the secondary and uh, all that stuff carries over week to week. And so um, the coach's job is to prepare you for this is what they do, but you've got to go compete. You've got to go perform. You've got to go do this week after week. We're going to show you what they do so that you're prepared for that and nothing surprises you.
Both teams come in with identical records, 3-3 overall, 1-1 in district. How critical is this game in terms of the district playoff implications?
The most important game of our season. Definitely the most important game of our season. I talked to the boys about that this morning. There's 4 teams in our district that are 1-1 right now, and after this week, there'll be the third week is kind of where you start to kind of see separation. You'll have teams that are 2-1. You'll have teams that are 1-2. But right now, it's Lake Ridge and North Crowley are both 1-0. They play each other this week. Everybody else is 1-1 and Weatherford's 0-2. And so that's our district. And so this is very, very important from the standpoint of we go into the bye week 2-1. We'll have a really good opportunity to get healthy. And then you're definitely in control of your destiny as far as the playoffs go.
Is there any possibility of the team making it into the playoffs with only 3 wins?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at their wins and losses, Legacy seems to, it seems like a high variance team, big scoring games, but also some tough blowout losses. Does that kind of unpredictability affect how you prepare?
No, because yeah, you definitely look at the scores, but then uh, you're really evaluating the team, you're evaluating the personnel, you're evaluating the schemes, and you know, there's teams that last year we were scoring in bunches, it seemed like, and we went 1-9. And then this year we've done just enough to win 3 games, and we haven't scored over 30 points in a game yet, I don't think. And so, uh, when you look at it from that standpoint, it's yeah, you can have these games where you perform real well, and you can have these games where you don't. But ultimately, it comes down to winning and losing, and whatever you got to do to win. And so, if we win 7 or 8 more games this year, and they're all 10-7 or 13-10 or 12-6, like I'll take it. I want to win. I want to keep playing.
How do you shift the team's focus on a short week and get ready for a Thursday night road game?
Well, you gotta adjust practice because we're losing a day, and so that started yesterday. Some of the things that we would have done on Tuesday, and Monday's normally our big teaching day. We watch a lot of the film of the upcoming opponent. We talk to the boys about what they're gonna do, like the Legacy Broncos will do, and how they line up, and this guy number, you know 3 does this, number 9 does this, number 99 does this. This is what he likes to do. He's a spin guy, or he's a bull rush guy, or whatever. You're trying to give them tidbits about who they're going to be facing, and then you go over. You spend a little time doing that, introducing them to legacy, and then you start introducing them to anything new that we're putting on for the week, or a wrinkle that we're putting on for the week, and you focus more on, okay, they do this. We've shown you what they're going to do. Now this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to attack them. And so, and then Tuesday, normal Tuesday, you'd get in there, and it's a lot more physical. It's a lot more reps. It's a lot more, good on good. Uh, but you know, some of the stuff that we did on a Tuesday, we had to shift to Monday. Some of the stuff that we normally do on Wednesday, we shifted to today. And then tomorrow will be the same. Like normally on Wednesday, we just wear helmets, but tomorrow we're going shoulder pads and helmets, and we're going to do kind of a combined Wednesday, Thursday workout, and be ready to roll Thursday.
Legacy has had some trouble containing the run in a few of their games. With your strong ground attack led by Jace Richardson and Chance Lassiter, do you see this as a potential advantage?
Well, I don't think it's any secret that um, we've especially the last 3 weeks, we've kind of hung our hat on getting the ball to Jace and getting the ball to Chance. And so, yeah, that's definitely going to be uh, probably par for the course going into Thursday night. I would expect that, uh, we're going to get the ball to Chance, we're going to get the ball to Jace, we're going to get the ball to Peyton, we're going to get the ball to uh, Jaden and Porter and Kersey and anybody that's on the field. We're going to get it to them as much as we can, but uh, we're I told you a few weeks ago, think about players, not plays. And so uh, we're thinking of ways. How can we get Jace the ball in space? How can we get Chance the ball in space? How can we get Peyton the ball in space? And so uh, that's what that's what we'll do.
Defensively, what are the keys to slowing down Legacy's high-powered offense? Who are their playmakers that you're most focused on containing?
The quarterback, and then the receiving core, and their running back. They're big on the O line, so we're gonna have to be physical. We're gonna have to be in our gaps. In the secondary, we've got to be aware of double moves and make sure that we're all on the same page coverage wise. We've communicated that, then it comes down to the middle part of no busts. Like we can't give them anything easy. No, try to limit explosive plays, but definitely, you know, uh, you watch them on film, you watch them uh, from their games where they did score a lot of points. There was always one or two where it's a 50-yard touchdown, it's a 60-yard touchdown, and then they're peppering in a 20-yard gain, a 30-yard gain, a 15-yard gain with regularity, and so. Uh, we need to keep making them snap the ball and make them drive on us, because the more times they snap the ball, I think that'll work in our favor. Eventually uh, they'll have to make a play, or we'll make a play.
So the Pioneers lost a heartbreaker last year at Pioneer Stadium. There in the fourth quarter, you guys led most of the game. Legacy came back and they ended up winning with 4 minutes left in the game, if I remember right.
That was Mansfield.
I thought Legacy was one of
Legacy
those.
beat us by 2 or 3 scores.
Okay. Uh, so I was thinking that was a Legacy game, but um, I was going to ask you how does this team, Legacy's team from last year, compare to the ones that we're going to face this week?
Uh, I think they're kind of in the situation from a personnel standpoint that we were in last year. They're a little bit younger. Uh, they're they're still kind of coming into their own. Um, but they are like I said, they've got really good sized kids, and they're very athletic. Anytime we play Mansfield School, North Crowley, Weatherford, like we're playing good athletes in this district. And we've got good athletes too, but this is definitely one of the more athletic teams in our district.
What's the one thing you want to see from your team Thursday night that would tell you they're continuing to grow and build off of the wins that they've got?
The ability to reset and be consistent. You know, um, One of the things I talked to the guys about and the team about is uh, having a next play mentality, and whether something good happens or something bad happens, you've got to move on from it quickly, and you can't dwell on it either way. You can't pat yourself on the back, and you can't beat yourself up. And so the same goes for a game. And so uh, man, I'd love to string two of these together so that we can we can do that. But we that would be the thing, is just move on in a positive way, and then be consistent in our competitiveness, our desire, our execution, our fight, our everything, and uh, being able to hit that reset button and show back up and do it again. Because consistency on football and life, whatever, you show up consistently and you're doing your best consistently, eventually you're going to get the promotion. Eventually you're going to get good stuff coming your way. The guys that are like, oh, like, well, I'll show up when it's fun. Those are the guys that you have to be leery of, and we don't have any of those. Thank goodness.
Well, that is awesome. This game, of course, again, is next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. It is a pretty good drive down there to Mansfield, and a lot of construction. So if you're going to go to the football game, I would.
Try to come back through Kennedale.
Yeah, it's at R.L. Anderson Stadium. That's where we played 2 weeks ago against Mansfield, and I would highly recommend that you you try to go a little bit early because it's tough going to get out there. But kickoff again is at 7, and our pregame show is at 6:30 right here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, give us those likes, thumbs up. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we got Braden Meeson, a big offensive lineman for the Boswell Pioneers. That's next.
If you're a fan of classic rock and tired of hearing the same old songs over and over, you need to tune in to thezoo.net. Thousands of songs in the library. Radio like it used to be. Radio as it should be. It's on the internet 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and it's free. The best classic rock of all time. It's thezoo.net.
The internet's best classic rock. The Zoo.
All right, welcome back to Pioneer Sports Extra. Still got a little bit that you can come down and join the show. We got Coach's cousin here
Yeah,
watching. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. Got some other folks watching here in the studio audience, Coach. I'm not sure if that's
yeah.
what you call it,
Not a studio in the
but
audience.
enjoying some great barbecue, and you come down here and enjoy that as well. But now we're going to take some time to get to know Braden Meeson. That's a guy that has caught our eye from week one. He's a right guard for the Boswell Pioneers, and he has been a road grader out there on that offensive line. And Braden, welcome to the show. And
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
the first question I have for you is walk us through your emotions when you guys won that game last Friday night against Crowley.
It was definitely a roller coaster. You know, um, going into the game, we all had our heads high. Uh, I didn't know we were underdogs either.
That's a good thing.
Kind of made me mad when I figured it out.
Yeah, I was oblivious. I didn't tell him at all, like, and I wouldn't have told him,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, we didn't dwell on that.
Oh, we were mad. Dave Campbell had you guys 28-point underdogs. Like, are you kidding me? But yeah, you guys came out and you fought hard and you come up with the win. And the offensive line doesn't get a lot they don't show up in the stat sheet a whole lot. They don't get the big interviews from Channel 8 or Fort Worth Star Telegram, but you guys really are what makes it go. And in my opinion, you guys won the battle in the trenches on Friday night. Talk about that. Talk about going up against some of the defenses that you face so far.
Well, all week, I mean, we get good looks from, JV and, luckily we have a great defensive line that gives us good looks too. Uh, so, I mean, and also great coaches, Coach Staples and Coach Meeks, they do a great job coaching us up during the week.
What do you like most about playing offensive line?
Definitely the feeling that you get when, I mean, you feel Jace or Chance running behind you and, even scoring a touchdown. I mean, you feel like you have a big part in that. So,
Now, I know you can't do it, but if you had a touchdown celebration, what would it be?
oh, uh, man, I think just the good old spike.
Just a good old spike.
So what's it like? I've always wondered this. When you've got Jace or when you've got Chance right there, and you see that the defense is starting to stop them, and then all of a sudden it's like the whole offensive line comes. What's it like being in that mush of pushing, just trying to push and push?
Yeah, in the pile when he's obviously stopped, but you guys are getting him another 2 or 3
Yeah.
yards.
What is that? What is that inside that? And then what does it feel like afterwards? And you're like, oh man, we just got a first down off of that or something like that.
Just who's ever in front of you, you're just trying to push them towards the first down, and don't stop until the whistle blows. So it's a big factor in it.
What's the hardest part about playing the position?
I guess just the recognition you get. I mean, we have a great team, and they do a great job in recognizing us. But I mean, like you said, we don't get a lot of stats like Jason Chance. So
You do have one stat, and I think you guys track those. How many pancakes you got so far this year?
oh man, I don't even keep count. I just go to the next play.
Talk about that emotion of when you do get a pancake.
I mean, it's a good feeling, you stop them from making the tackle. So
Let's step away from football for a minute. What kind of hobbies do you enjoy?
like outside of football,
Mhm.
I like to play video games. Enjoy going to church. I have a good youth group there. I like just hanging out with friends. Big one's fishing. I like
Oh,
fishing.
okay. Another fisherman.
Another fisherman. There
That's
you go.
cool. What kind of video games do you play?
Usually just the sports ones.
Madden?
Yeah.
You Madden player?
College football.
Do you play any of your teammates
I
or?
do. James Washington was on here and he said he beat me.
That's
That's not true. His game actually turned off during the game. I'll admit he was winning, but I mean,
Oh, that's awesome. Now, what do you usually pick a position to play? And what is that? What's your favorite position?
usually just quarterback. Like I'll do like a career mode in college football, and that's usually what I pick.
Do you have a favorite team?
TCU.
TCU. All right. That's pretty cool. Why TCU?
Just been a fan my whole life, and they're local, so
All right. That's awesome. Um, do you play any other sports at Boswell?
I do powerlifting.
Powerlifting. Okay. What's your best event in powerlifting?
Definitely squat,
And how much can you squat?
like 530 equipped.
Wow. Nice. Nice.
Strong boys on this team.
Have you thought about trying out for any other sports or?
It hasn't crossed my mind yet. Actually, me and Colton Kersey and a couple guys from our lunch table, we were joking around about joining the bowling team for senior year. I mean, free bowling.
Hey, there you go. There you go. What about your favorite subject in school?
I would say history. I mean, I just enjoy learning about our past and how's it shaped us now.
And you're a senior, correct?
I am.
So, what are your plans for the future? Do you plan on going to college?
Yeah, I do. I plan on going to Tarleton and then majoring in engineering there.
And any thoughts of playing at the next level?
Yeah, that's always the goal. I mean, but if it doesn't work out, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Have you talked to anybody? Have talked to any teams
We've
yet?
we've had a couple of people come to our school and take us out of class.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. Engineering. What is it about engineering that has caught your eye?
Just the money.
Hey, that's a perfectly legitimate reason. And where did you go to middle school?
Wayside.
Wayside, and did you play
I
football
did.
there?
I did.
Same position?
Yep.
Have you?
Or I played a little bit of defense too.
I was going to ask you if you played any other position.
I did, and freshman year. I got a little too big for defense.
Oh, now what position did you play on defense?
Nose.
Nose. Okay. Did you like it?
I did.
All right.
I wouldn't trade it for offense though.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, this portion of the program, we always ask if there's somebody watching that you'd like to give a shout out to.
Yeah, for sure. I like to shout out my mom, my dad, my granny. I mean, they show up to every game. I'd like to shout out Steph. She lives far away, so she watches the broadcast
that's
every
cool.
game. My sister Madison, my brother Tristan, and just my church family.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We've been very impressed. Like I say, you've done a great job there on the offensive line. And I think you've been a big part of Jason's chance's success. And so we hope you get the win on Thursday night against Mansfield Legacy. What are your thoughts on that game?
I mean, same it is every game. We're going to go in and win.
All right. Outstanding. Of course, that game is Thursday night, and kickoff is at 7. Pre-game show is at 6:30. You can find it right here on our YouTube channel. We'll try to put the link on Facebook. We got banned from Facebook last week for putting a link out there to a high school football broadcast. No, I'm not sure why that is, but we're out of Facebook jail, and you can find us there on our Facebook page as well. We encourage you to make the drive to Mansfield, but if you can't, a couple of ways to see the football game for free right here on our YouTube channel. Or if you're right here in Saginaw and you just want to go hang out, Eagles Nest has been putting us on their big screen TV. And so we encourage you, though, to come out.
And here at Reds, too.
And here at Reds, sometimes they put it on the TV here at Reds. Amy always tries to get home early so she can watch the game. But we encourage you to come out and cheer on the boys and help them as they continue this push to the playoffs. They got one in their pocket. We need at least three more. And hopefully that starts this Thursday night against Mansfield Legacy. Until then, this is Jim Howard, along with Coach Wes Weaver and Braden Meeson, and of course our producer Keith Diamond, saying good night. And as always, go Boz.
Go Bucks.
Pioneer sports, extra tales of great Boswell's never rock and roll.